before we move on to toString, I actually want to test my coverage here. We haven't talked about coverage yet. So I am passing this equals test, but I want to see, what percentage of statements I am covering here. And I don't believe I have installed ECL Emma here. So let me see if I can do that rather quickly. I'm going to go to Eclipse Marketplace. I'm going to find ECL Emma, hopefully. Okay, that's ECL Emma. ECL Emma. That's for code coverage, and I'm just going to go ahead and install that. Okay, and confirm. And accept the terms. Finish. Okay, so now I've got ECL Emma installed. There it is. Okay. And I think what I need to do here is I just need to run my JUnit test. Okay, run as JUnit test. And then I'm going to go ahead and run ECL Emma. And here it shows me I'm not testing is valid. I'm going to ignore that. Everything else is being covered. I'm sorry, I'm not covering is valid, and I'm not covering it because I'm not testing it. But now I'm going to look in the abstract class and see if I'm missing anything from there. And I can already see I have, but I'm covering everything in the copy. Flip is empty, is full. Hash code. I'm not covering everything in hash code because I'm only testing hash code on an empty stack. So I want to go back and test hash code on a non-empty stack. All right, and let's see. Okay, so I'll test hash. I've tested hash code here, and I want to insert A, B, and C here to S. And I'm going to check if the hash codes are equal of this and S3, and they should be. I'm going to save that. I'm going to run my test, and that did not break the hash code test, so that is good. And now I'm going to run ECL Emma, and I'm going to look at the abstract class, and you can see that it has tested everything in hash code now. Equals, we're still leaving things out in equals, and of course we haven't tested toString yet, but everything else is looking pretty darn good. So that is a good thing. Okay, so here, if the depths are not equal, it says go ahead and return false. So, right, that makes sense. I want to test they should not be equal if the depths are not equal. So I'm not testing that. And where am I testing? Okay, these things are annoying me. These colors. Where am I testing is equals? Okay, there it is. No, there it is. Okay, test equals object. So basically, I'm saying this S3 equals S. Let me put another test here before that and say assert false. S3 equals S. Okay. Save that. Let me run the test and then run ECL Emma and go to my abstract class. Okay, fantastic. So basically, the only thing I didn't cover here is for element this, if some element does not equal the other element. So basically, if we have two stacks, both with 3 elements, but those elements are not equal, then it's going to reach this statement. So let's go ahead and write a test that will do that. So let's see. The last thing we've tested, assert true S3 equals S. So I'm going to pop something from S and push something different other than C. I'm going to push D onto S. And that should give me what I want. S3 does not equal S. Okay, and let me just run that right away from here. Look at abstract class, and we've got the equals method tested. Okay, now there's one thing we have not done in the equals method to test that. Even though it's all covered, all right, there's one important test that we've left out. And that is, and this is especially important for collections or anywhere where you have multiple implementations for a single interface. If we have a list stack with ABC in it, that should be equal to an array stack with ABC in it, even though they are totally different types of stacks, totally different implementations of stacks. They are both stacks. They both have the same elements. They should be equal. All right. So let's go ahead and do that now. And this may seem weird because we're doing creating an array stack in here. And actually, I think we can still use S here. That seems a little crazy, but because S is just a stack, so we can actually assign that to a new array stack. And we want these things to be equal, so we're going to make that have a capacity of 5. And then we're going to push A, B, and C onto there. So I'm just going to copy and paste from there. Okay, and I'm going to kill those two things and see if that works. Looks like it worked. Okay, so here's our test equals object, and we're not getting any problem when we are testing whether an array stack with A, B, and C is equal to a list stack